Hello, everyone. I don't know if anyone can hear me yet. Trying to make sure things are going properly here on the back end. See if it's going. Can you see, Zach? Okay, just one moment. Okay, cool. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. This is kind of like a spur of the moment thing, so this is going to be kind of rough. So, um, hey, there's a we'll feature that. Hello, Left Coast Graphics. Thank you again for the Yakface pin that you put up. Hello, Mike. Thanks for joining. Let's see. um, the kind of reason I started or wanted to do this was to kind of just chat with people regarding things that are coming out, things that are we what we kind of hope to see on Wednesday, if anything fun. I don't know. There'll be a few things, some pre-orders and whatnot, but um, this is kind of just a open forum. You guys have the opportunity to ask some questions or get clarification on some things if I can. Um, Hello, Lucas Monster. There's a lot of people in the chat here. Let's see. Um, so I'll be just kind of reading through the comments, and if people want to ask questions, I'll try to feature those and throw them up on the screen. Um, I'm not doing any sort of monetization or anything yet. So this is just all for fun. So um, more Lucas Monster. Oh, thank you very much. Let's see where to go. I think that Andrew asked about some more prequel Jedi figures. Um, yes, I don't know if they're going to be featured tomorrow, or I mean Wednesday, but yes, more prequel Jedi figures. Those will be coming. Um, let's see. I know you heard before, but thank you so much. Oh, you're very welcome. This is fun for me as well, as far as being able to help people out, as far as providing links and um, info, as far as when can people expect things, as far as you know um, arriving from overseas, or at least they're in the country, knowing that hey, they're going to be um, hopefully arriving at the proper stores soon, and online orders will be filled. um, I was kind of looking earlier today, and I uh, I found that a bunch of things were shipping. Again, the Aura Sing wave is finally starting to show up in warehouses again. I know it's kind of been trickling out again recently. Um, I think it was found at retail. At least when I purchased it, it was like way back in uh, I think it was July, where I found that whole wave at Walmart. Um, Now it looks like more of those cases are starting to arrive in the U.S. And um, what else? Uh, I found out the code name for Crosshair, the Imperial version. That figure is Tallahassee, and that also arrived today or yesterday. I guess it was probably today. Um, in California. So those are going to start shipping at least to warehouses soon. Also, Captain Rex from Bad Batch has arrived in the US. So I know people have been looking forward to getting their hands on some version of Rex for quite a while. So just, I would say, just be patient on those. The I'm not sure as far as when they might hit early, because with things being as screwed up as they are from shipping from China, it's hard to say definitively when things will hit stores. But you know, now we know that at least they're in the U.S. and they're starting to arrive, just like the Target exclusive X-wing. Um, those are still arriving. There was another batch of those cases that arrived, a few hundred. No, it was let's see, 400. It was almost 1,000 pieces of that, so they're coming in. Um, Hopefully that will go up for pre-order maybe as early as Wednesday, but I'm guessing it might be part of the Target deal at the end of the month on the 24th of September. So, um, no, you're not the only fan. I like those as well, Mr. Left Coast. Let's see if anyone has any other questions. Sequels. Will the sequels be revisited? The parking lot. That's a tough one. I haven't seen anything more sequel related as far as anything that we don't know of already. I know that Crate Luke is still out there somewhere. I don't know if it's going to make it out next year. Um, there is one code name that I have that is unattributed to any Black Series figure so far, and it could be Luke, it could be someone else entirely. So hopefully we'll hear something on that soon. Let's see what else. Last thing was sequel Darkseid Ray. Yeah. The IG-11 and Lando Wave should go up for pre-order on Thursday, actually. They'll talk more about it on Wednesday, and it should all go up for pre-order. Sorry about that. And I think they're going to be revealing pre-orders for Lobot and Bib Fortuna as well. So, question, codename Periwinkle. Mike, I wish I knew. What do I think it is? My guess is it may be a Bad Batch vintage collection figure. That's a guess completely on my part, but I don't know of any other vintage collection figures that might be exclusive right now, at least for Target. So we'll see. It could be, I'm trying to think, with the book of Boba Fett coming up, that might be a little early for those yet. So I don't think it's one of those. So I'm heavily weighing Bad Batch figure for that one. So let's see what else. Cheers, Maurice. Thank you. Omega Fit. Yeah, that'd be nice. Let's get. Yeah, I want some of the crew for Bad Batch. I think that's pretty necessary. I mean, considering the that 4-pack that's out there. Who knows when it's going to show up eventually. Jason, thank you for showing up. Jason, I join him often on the Galaxy of Toys podcast. If you guys haven't given that a listen, I encourage you all to do so over at Galaxy of Toys. Next retro collection, my bet would be it tied to Book of Boba Fett. Um, that seems to be the most logical thing right now. Um, it won't be Return of the Jedi yet. They'll save that for the following year. Um, it could be another Mandalorian wave, but I'd be betting more on Book of Boba Fett. 20th anniversary. Lupnus Monster asks, you think we'll see pre-orders for the... I don't think so. I think most of that stuff is still going to be, they won't show that off until closer to the end of the year, maybe not even around Toy Fair time, when Toy Fair would normally be in February. We'll see. I think those are for later in 2022. So anything could happen, I guess. But I think the main focus is going to be on stuff we kind of already know is coming, as far as the pipeline figures. And I don't know if we'll get into the Rancor yet, because especially with Wednesday being the first event before the Hasbro PulseCon, I don't think they're going to be showing off a lot. I think they're going to want to save their big guns for that show. So that would be my guess. What else? Marvel Legends. TK6287 asks, how is it that Marvel Legends figure makers just shelve well in advance before a movie or series drops? I think a lot of that has to do with the delays that the movies and series get. I mean, I think they want to tie those closer to when those come out, so they have them produced well ahead of time and shipped here. But then the show gets delayed due to obvious reasons. And those are all still in the United States or the various countries waiting to be released. And then they can more closely time those products with the show or movie launches. I mean, it's sad, like for the Shang-Chi wave, all those are on clearance before the movie even came out. So it's kind of a give and take, as far as there's plus and minuses involved with, having product reach shelves before the movie. So that one. Hello, Milky Way Skywalker. Thank you for showing. Wednesday. Cantina. Spooky Molder asks, Navarro Cantina images soon? You would hope so. I mean, I haven't heard anything as far as it being shown off yet, but with so much stuff as far as being pipelined and stuff we know is coming, like I'm hoping we finally see pictures of those 6-inch Clone Wars figures that they just showed, animation stills of those figures. That seems, I don't know, to pre-order a product. I mean, we kind of know what they will look like, but I mean, it would be nice to have a definitive look, at least 3D renders or something, not just the animation stills to go off of, in order to solicit buyers. But we'll see. Who else is in here? Left Coast asks, did you order the Razor Crest? I did not order the Razor Crest. With having these 4 kids and other things to plan out for my year, I did not order it, but I hope to secure it in another way without having to pay too much extra. I know a few people that ordered more than one, and I might have a resource that way. So we'll see. Retro book. Jonathan, thanks for the question. How long do you normally wait to post figure rumors after finding out? Sometimes it all depends on how I hear it or where I hear it from. If I find information, by my usual means, through shipping info or some like Amazon or something would to post a link to a product that they might not have or shouldn't have. I typically do that stuff right away. But if I'm given some information um, and I'm asked not to share it outright, then I'll wait. If there's some other rumors that are kind of close, I'll then kind of piggyback on some of those, knowing that the information is legit without getting certain people in trouble, let's say. So, like I said, it kind of varies. Uh, let's see, what do we got here? Dan Marino. Thanks for the question. When is the figure coming out? I don't think he's coming out this year. It'll be one of the first waves of 2022. I think Bib Fortuna and Lobot are slotted in with the Bo-Katan wave. That's going to be a really solid wave because that has the Mithral in it. And oh god, I'm blanking on the other ones at the moment. But yeah, that's those two figures, Bib Fortuna and Lobot, should be in with that one. And I think you could see that on Entertainment Earth. Both of those figures are coded. I believe Las Vegas and Reno, I think. And there's listed. General Canoe. Let's see what we got here. Another good question from Jonathan. Thoughts on how we're getting more exclusives for Black Series than mainline releases? Yeah, that's pretty frustrating. I think part of it has to do with this year was always going to be kind of a down year for the most part until the end of the year, because that's when the Book of Boba Fett was coming out. And with all the Marvel stuff coming out, Hasbro, I think they allotted more of their budget for the Marvel product versus the Star Wars stuff. So there were fewer mainline releases and more exclusives for that reason, because obviously retailers will pay to carry their own special exclusives in stores. So that's one of the main reasons why there's so many exclusives. Plus, with it being, the whole Lucasfilm 50th thing they started, that kind of was a main push for this year. So even though it's going to kind of continue into next year with more of those comic pack type sets, like the Luke and the not Kirkanos or Carnor Jax, whichever it is. There's going to be more of those next year, which is pretty cool. And the ones that I've heard of are pretty surprising and pretty cool. I can't say which ones they are yet, though. Let's see. Let's see. How's Spooky Molder? Whoops, let's go back. Where'd it go? Realistic, how long do you think we'll have to wait to get any Book of Boba Fett figures? I think we'll have some before the end of the year. I think before everything happened, there was originally a Fett Friday type of event planned. I don't know if that's still going on. I think there'll be some, if there is some sort of announcement, I think it will be at the Hasbro PulseCon. If we don't see anything before that. So that would be our next best opportunity, I think, is to get some of those figures at least shown. I don't know if they'll be released this year with all the delays and everything. So thanks, Toys of the Way, for reminding me that Queel was in that wave. Who else is in here? Mark Adler, thank you for the question. Do you think we'll see a TBC blurg anytime soon? Thanks for all you do. You're welcome. Thanks for all the kind words. TBC blurg, I would say yes. Not that I know of one coming, but I think think one of the reasons why we haven't seen the packaging yet for the Razor Crest is because the blurg is on there. And we'll see that as part of some of these reveals that are coming. Probably not Wednesday, but maybe for Hasbro PulseCon. That would be my gut feeling on that. Lucasfilm 50 Punk Loser 76S with Lucasfilm 50th. We'll be more likely to see announcements from Wednesday or later at PulseCon. My bet would be PulseCon again. I think they're not going to be cramming a lot into Wednesday, even though it's been quite a while since we had a fan first whatever day. They're kind of, I think they're playing catch up a little bit with some of the stuff. I mean, because that vintage collection wave with the Emperor, which is, with Lando, has been out there for so long. I mean, it's almost been, I don't remember when I first posted some of those rumors, but those figures have been just out there forever. And I think they were waiting for the Emperor's throne room to get shown off and for pre-orders to go up for that, which haven't happened yet also, before they solicited the standard release one. So so I would bet the 50th anniversary stuff will be later. I think we might see another exclusive wave of Walmart TBC figures based on those some of the code names. Plus, I know there's those 3 carbonized vintage collection figures, which I'm totally skipping. I still don't know who the other 2 are, other than, I mean, it's pretty obvious one of them is going to be Moff Gideon, and then the Armorer is the other, but the third, I have no idea. Let's see. Favorite TVC that has been released this year and why? Probably Ahsoka. That's one of the best figures that they've done, not only of Ahsoka, but just from capturing the style. Even though it's realistic and not an animated form, it captures the best of both worlds, I think, in that particular sculpt. So they did a really excellent job on that one. And I happened to find another one of her today, and it was even better than the first one I found. So I'm keeping that one carded. Let's see what else is in here. Let's see. Can you give us any fun hints on anything you may know about without pulling a Patrick? Well, I'll have to think about that one and maybe come back to that one. Let's see. Black Earth. Nothing other than late fall. I think it's going to be one of those, if everything goes as planned. They managed to get the HasLab Sentinel out for Marvel Legends in time. I think they'll be able to do the same with the Razor Crest. Considering we haven't had any updates, I hope that means they're just plugging away trying to crank them out and get them done. So I still think they are on a November, December release schedule, hopefully in time for Christmas. Let's see. I'm getting old. Left Coast Graphics, I'm getting old. How long do you think I have to wait for a new Hammerhead? I would say, what year is this? This is still 2021. I'm going to say probably before 2023. Let's see. Has Hasbro ever contacted you about revealing what's coming at all? No, they have not. So thanks, Hasbro. Let's see what's up. Sept. Uh, blink twice for getting Black Series Chaotic Monday and or um uh yeah, I'll move on to the next one. Let's see. Any regrets about canceling your Razor Crest? No, not really. Over the past, God, however many years I've been doing this collecting anyway, I've passed on big things that I've wanted. Um, and I'm far from a completist, even though the Razor Crest is one of those items that um, it's a centerpiece for probably any 3 3/4 inch collector's collection. So I don't really feel bad about it yet. Maybe I will once I see it in hand and people start receiving it. I might have some canceler's remorse, but like I said, I probably will be able to pick it up anyways for hopefully close to for retail. Um, Spooky Mulder asks what pack-in figure will be for the Navarro Cantina. It's the Death Trooper, I believe. I think that was s- stated at one point in a Q&A. I don't remember which one and when, but I think that was the case. It was originally going to be the Incinerator Trooper before that they switched that out and made it a Walmart exclusive, I heard. Let's see. Got 27.97. Hey dude, hello. Thank you for showing. Pipeline. It says thoughts on some of the pipeline figures being rumored to ship November 1st, but the tech wave still expected to ship in December. Well, the tech wave's been shipping since July at least, and people are still finding it. I mean, I see reports every day of people finding it at Walmart, Target, not very much. Initially, back in July, I think someone found a case there. I think I've seen more people find them at Walgreens than at Target. But I'm not sure what we'll get as far as waves go before the end of the year. Let's see. Zach Star Wars Collectibles asks, do you ever think down the line the rights to make Star Wars figures will move from Hasbro to some other toy company? I don't, and if it does, I quit. I I do not want to start over with another manufacturer producing the same figure I've bought 57 other times. Like I don't need, you know, for the simple fact that anyone who were to take over the line, they're not going to start over with figures that have never been made before. They're going to come out with stormtroopers and Darth Vaders and Luke Skywalkers and Leia's and Hans and Chewie's and Boba Fett's, and I have all those figures. There's, I don't think there's a way to improve upon those figures for how Hasbro has done them. I mean, sure, there could be a new Farm Boy Luke from Hasbro, definitely. Um, I don't think another company coming along and taking over is going to be able to do better for any cheaper than what Hasbro does now. Just because the license costs so much, and they're not going to be able to produce the figures as far. There's hardly a bigger toy company than Hasbro in the toy world. Sure, there's the Mattels and whatnot, but I just don't think that anyone could manage that line. I mean, as I, I know that Hasbro's had their problems and continue to have their problems with, the production and the maintenance of their line and the utilization of their license. Um, but they're in it to sell toys, not just to collectors. So they have to produce the action fleet or the mission fleet, which are not bad toys by any means. They're not for me, and they might not be for you, but they're for someone out there. And um, there's stuff that they've gotten away from too, like you don't see Star Wars soap bottle 12-inch figures anymore. You don't see the fighter pod type little 1-inch squinky type things anymore. Um, that doesn't mean they're not going to come back, but it's, they kind of, but then again, you have these weird lightsabers like the ones that are out now, the with the Luke Skywalker and R2D2 and Vader and Stormtrooper. Those are lightsabers sell to little kids. I'm just not sure why those were pitched and made it to retail. They're just weird. Let's see. Toys are the way asked. Can we expect to order and receive the IG-808 pretty quickly since they're trying this new method with a long pipeline review? Um, everything comes with a caveat considering how shipping is going. I think that there's different schools. I've heard that they might be trying a new thing where you're able to pre-order it, but it's not really a pre-order. You're ordering it. There is no pre-order. But I just don't think logistically that's going to work the remainder of this year. At least for stuff that hasn't been announced yet. Dan Marino asks, any word on the Walgreens 212 troops? This morning, by chance, I took the UPC into my local Walgreens and had them scan it to see if there's any sort of info, like does it register at all even, and it doesn't. So that means it comes up as not on file, and I know the barcode is accurate. So it's one of those things, just like a lot of their exclusives, they just kind of come in out of the blue. There's no pre-order. It's just they're online, you order it and they ship, and then that's it, and they never go back up again, and then they come into stores months later. I'm not sure why that's such an issue with Walgreens, considering how big they are. I mean, I think they have more stores in the US than Walmart, but again, they're not a large store as far as the products they offer, and they're not in it to, I mean, there's not the biggest toy section in Walgreens. So, I mean, it's an odd retail partner, that's for sure. But again, they've got a lot of stores, and that's a lot of eyeballs for Hasbro product. It's just they don't fulfill their I don't want to say obligation, but their contract in order to get those things out in a timely fashion. I don't know why they were shown off so soon. If it's going to be 6 to 8 months before they even hit retail, it's just weird. Um, let's let's see. There's a bunch of questions in here. I gotta scroll through. Someone asks, Milky Way Skywalker, when we'll be able to order the America X-Wing. I think it'll be at the end of the month. That seems to be the best opportunity for that to go up. Well, let's see. Jonathan asks, when do you think we'll see the effect of the China shipping delays and price hikes? We're seeing it now. That's the reason why the price jumped to $22.99 recently, and there's going to be another level after that if things don't go if they don't improve, considering how much it costs to just bring things to the United States now. I know they said that they're working on trying to find other ways to bring it, which means try to bring them in through different ports instead of the main California port that they typically use. Because I know, like, as I mentioned right when we started, um, there's figures like that whole uh, Arsing Wave, the Crosshair Imperial version, Bad Batch Rex. All of those figures are coming in through Georgia, which is not something they've typically done. Um, I think all of the HasLab um, Sentinels came in through Georgia as well. So I think they're trying to do their best to avoid the West Coast ports at the moment. That still doesn't mean it costs any less. It's just the the delay on the West Coast is so severe. Let's see. Who else we got here? Hey, email. Jason has. We'll need to buy 2 Mando Cantina sets to build a complete one. I wouldn't doubt it. Um, that's why I think that's why they put the Death Trooper in there, so you can army build them. But we'll see. Maybe they've wised up over that. Mickey Mouse Company can make all the toys. Mickey Mouse Company can make all the toys. They could. I've seen the many years ago. I don't even remember what year it was. I managed to. I think it was right before Rebels started. I was invited out to California, and I got to see a bunch of the stuff as the Disney purchase was taking place, as far as some of the merchandise they were planning on releasing, and it was kind of a glimpse into the future as far as the types of stuff they could be handling and producing in-house under the Disney product and not using Hasbro. And most of the stuff we all saw, whether it was um, park merchandise or costumes and die cast type things, they definitely could do it, um, and they'd make bank on it probably. But again, having Hasbro pay them to handle it, I'm sure is more lucrative. Let's see. Punk Loser asked, "Do you see the Black Series adopting swappable accessories like Marvel Legends, or like what they did with Dagobah Training Luke?" Um, I I don't know. It would be nice. I mean, I think the easiest thing for Hasbro to do and to give more options would be to include more hands. The this There we go. My video is back. There we go. I think I'm back. I could see myself at least. Let's see. Cool. Let's see. Dang, hibernation sickness. You're back. Canada is more important. True. Yes. Uh, Lucas Monster asks, "Why has Canada been getting figures quicker, like the Imperial Shock Trooper Rex archive waves before the U.S.?" Because their ports aren't as backed up is a main reason. Um, that's the main reason. and maybe Hasbro Canada, because that's a separate division from Hasbro US. They're just better at getting their orders in and fulfilled. That'd be just as plausible as anything, but I think it mainly has to do with the huge backups at the port in California, San Diego area. Tony Johnson, my Senate is sitting in Savannah. Yeah, a lot of people. Um, I From what I saw over the weekend, uh, I think there was a shipping container dedicated for uh, the Sentinel, just because one of the shipping manifests I saw, there was nothing on it but Sentinel cases. So hopefully they'll be filling all those orders pretty quickly. I did not order the Sentinel nor Galactus. Let's see, predictions for Rancor stretch goals. Um, Seems to be pretty easy as far as, I mean, if I were doing it, it would be things that wouldn't typically sell at retail or could be sold at like Ula and the Rancor Keeper. Those are, I think, need to be goals. Marvel has done a great job as far as including um, several 6-inch figures for their stretch goals. So I think Hasbro and the Star Wars team should do the same and offer figures through it. My guess too would probably be like accessories from Jabba's palace, as far as the bone and the skull. Um, that's all I can really think of at the moment. Let's see. Oh, we'll keep scrolling down here. Thank you, everyone, again, for all the questions. They're pretty great. Also, thank you for everything, dude. The info and everything, plus reposts and retweets. I'll appreciate it. Absolutely. There's a lot of great people on social media that do that as well. So, Kylo Collector and um, Usual Mike, and just I'm not going to go through and name the whole entire list of people that I follow and listen to, and you know, obviously I hear a lot of I watch a lot of the videos that are on YouTube, is like Out of the Basement, and just a lot of different videos that are out there that attribute some information to me. So I appreciate that, and I really do. Um, and I think it's fun as far as trying to hunt down this stuff and making sure people know when stuff's going to go up for pre-order and where these links are, because for as big as corporation that Walmart is and Target is, you would think they could get a website that could know how to operate a search field where you search for something and it pulls up results that are pretty close to what you're searching for. I don't understand why Walmart's website is like the worst in that regard. Our Bad Batch main characters coming soon to TVC. I don't know about soon, but they're not going to make figures like Rex and the other clones and not have the Bad Batch crew. So I hope they get around to making the Havoc Marauder, if that's what they're going to call it. Everyone, I'm sure, understands the reference. Gamorrean Guard. Yaki Man, thank you very much. Black Series Clips, thank you. Jose Gonzalez, thank you for you on Instagram. I miss many figures. Thank you again. Absolutely. And that goes, I end up thanking everyone all throughout this thing, but when you guys support the site through the links and do your pre-orders through when I post links to sponsors like Entertainment Earth and Dorkside Toys and Old Republic Collectibles. It really it helps out as far as me running the site, and this has kind of become my semi full-time job. Um, Not really, but it does pay a significant portion of the bill. So again, I appreciate everyone in in helping out the site by using the links when I post them when I can. Um, and I mean, I could go through and monetize, Target links and Walmart links, but that's so much of a hassle. I'm not even going to bother. But the sponsors that I do post, especially because they're businesses that cater to collectors like Dorkside Toys and Old Republic Collectibles and um, Entertainment Earth. Those are the main people I'd want support thrown at, not necessarily Target and Walmart, because we've all experienced the Walmart orders that come in an envelope or in a box too small, and I would rather. I mean, it sucks, especially when they have exclusives and they ship those the same way. I rarely pre-order exclusives from either of those anymore. I wait until I can find them in stores, just so I could take one level of frustration out of it. So, um, let's see what else. TVC Marauder with Bad Batch would be badass. Yes, I agree. Um, let's go through some more. I don't know if I featured that one yet. Thank you, Chaz Guru. Thank you for your memes. Let's see. What's the what is the rarest Star Wars figure I own? Oh, I don't know. I don't think I really have. I mean, it depends on what you consider rare. Like factory screw ups or errors, or mispackaging errors, are. Um, it's hard to say. I mean, the original '96 Hasbro figures. I mean, I don't have like the telescoping lightsaber versions of Luke and Vader and Obi-Wan. Um, so those would be pretty rare if I had them. But it's hard to really say what the rarest figure I have is. Um, UC40 showing up at LA. I don't think Hasbro will do another run of the Rogue One Stormtrooper. I think that ship has sailed. Um, and it's unfortunate that, I mean, such a desired figure went to clearance. I mean, it's great for the people out there that can get them and get them by the armful. But when things go to clearance, rarely do things go back into production. The only one I can really remember is like Captain Rex, the Black Series version, which went to Five Below a couple years ago, and they announced a re-release for that one right before announcing a new one. I mean, it was weird. So um, I don't foresee VC40 or 140 going back into production. Um, let's see. What else do we got here? Tony says he thinks he's passing on Walmart exclusives and gambling on in-store. I mean, it's if if you have enough stores in your area and you're willing to be persistent and hit those stores on a regular basis and use the tools that are out there, like um, BrickSeek, for example, or Pop Finder, depending on the stores. Um, you can find them. I mean, I've like even with the last wave of Walmart exclusives, the Leia, the ATST driver, and Pablo, that there's an end cap that has been sitting for 3 weeks at my Walmart. I saw it yesterday. Not one figure has sold out of it. And it doesn't help that that end cap is over in the bikes area and not in the action figure aisle. But um, yeah, I could count on one hand as far as the number of times where I haven't been able to find exclusives in store. So I pass on pre-ordering most exclusives. Let's see. Do I have a Star Wars Grail item? Um, that's that's a tough one. Um, one that I have or one that I would like to have. Um, I think it goes without saying a lot of people, vintage collectors, would like to have the rocket firing Boba Fett in their collection. Um, Obviously, I do not have one. I have reproductions of those, which is the closest I'll ever get. But um, I think Grail item for me is more of a sentimental Grail item. I have that Blockbuster Yoda that came obviously back for episode one. Um, my then girlfriend at the time, on our first date, she left that for me. Um, when I got to my apartment, she managed to be let inside, and she put it in there. Um, a few years later, I married that person, so um, yeah, the the Blockbuster Yoda is my Grail item that I would not. I would grab that in a fire, probably, as maybe as cheesy as that is. I would definitely grab that. Let's see. I'm gonna hide that. Hasbro. Joe. The Target exclusive Hasbro's or Han Solo Stormtrooper TBC went on clearance like 2 days after Father's Day. Yeah, mine is. I I did. I scored huge on that item as well. Yeah, I've got maybe close to that many, a dozen to 18 maybe of those stormtroopers, just because I mean they're great army builders, and yeah, I did find those as well. Um, Best placed order Black Series. It depends on where you are, I would say, and it depends on if you're willing to wait. Like, I know people complain about certain retailers, they put up pre-orders and they don't ship forever. A lot of that also has to do with how distributors fulfill orders or how Hasbro ships orders. Um, your best bet is to order them at multiple places, and whoever fills first, you keep those and you cancel the other ones. And it shifts around from different um, retailers as well. So some retailer might get it earlier than another one for a certain figure, but then the next time a different retailer gets them first. So I'm more of the person that can place a pre-order and I get it when I get it. I'm not one of those that I need it immediately. I don't pay extra to get figures first. I I find that personally is a waste of my money, so I do not do that. Um, let's see. Let me scroll back. I passed a bunch here. Um, Appreciate all the work and effort you put into reporting. Can you see a TVC getting a Dark Trooper soon? Things come in patterns. You could kind of tell by what gets licensed, where, what kind of figures you'll see made by Hasbro. Like Hot Toys got a Death Trooper or a Dark Trooper. Funko got a Dark Trooper, excuse me. Um, we know Hasbro's doing a 6-inch one. It is inevitable that we will get a Dark Trooper. Soon is the operative word there. I don't know about soon. Um, I would bet we get shown one, or at least pipeline, before the end of the year. That would be my guess. I don't know for sure, but I would think they're going to strike while that iron is hot, considering they haven't officially announced the Dark Trooper yet, but it's definitely a thing. So just like it's definitely a thing that Cobb Vanth is a deluxe and there's a Saw Gerrera 6-inch deluxe. And when I say deluxe, it doesn't mean it comes with a bunch of parts. It just means it's a bigger figure in a slightly bigger box, just like how Jar Jar was. I think you could have squeezed that one into a standard Black Series box, but it was offered as a deluxe. I think Saw Gerrera will follow similar suit. Let's see. It's hard to keep my 6-year-old into figures when there's so little on the shelves. Think we'll ever see a traditional line like Last Jedi, for example, again. Seems like the only option is eBay or yard sales. I don't know. I think it's hard for Hasbro to have so many competing lines in the same scale. Like, let's say you have the retro collection in 3 3/4, then you have a 5 to 7 POA line in the Last Jedi type of line that you given the example, and then a vintage collection line. I think during that time when um, the 5 7 POA line was running during the same time as vintage collection, they kind of cannibalized each other. Like, oh, you could buy a Snoke in the in that scale in the limited articulation, and then it was also in the um, vintage collection. And a lot of those figures overlapped. Like there was the Jedi Master Luke in both scales. Um, I think I just think it might be better served to not have that middle 7-point articulation line and just have the retro and the super articulated 3.75. Um, if they would just make more of the retro scale, that would probably solve some problems. Let's see what else. Galen Merrick. Do you think we'll ever get a Galen Merrick? I do. I think if they're going to produce other characters, I mean, they're easy repaints for Force Unleashed type characters. Um, they know the demand of a figure like Starkiller. I mean, it's been on polls for ever since I can remember. I'm sure it's on some sort of parking lot somewhere. Serious figure. Let's see, smart girl. Let's see. Scrolling through a bunch of comments here. We kind of blew past a bunch. TVC is easier to find, it seems. The Ahsoka wave, while still elusive for a lot of people, I've been reading more and more reports on it, so it seems like they've been doing at least a better job at getting some of that stuff to retail. I hope that continues because it's been dry for quite a while in that, other than exclusives. Let's see. Vehicles. Do you think we'll see any TVC vehicles? I don't know about announced soon. It seems like that's a huge that's a lot of money left on the table, like, especially for vintage collection. I mean, the entire reason the Star Wars line exists is because they made a action figure scale that was compatible with vehicles, and they don't offer those anymore. I mean, at least in the quantities they used to, which is really sad in my opinion. Smart man. Do I think the Rancor will be as popular as the Razor Crest? I can't imagine. It depends on who you ask. There's some people that just can't stand anything that Disney produces, so that includes The Mandalorian. I mean, even though it's as close to um, being in the same era and feel as the original trilogy, there's some people that just don't touch anything that's beyond what George Lucas had direct involvement with. So um, I think the Rancor will be pretty popular just for the fact that even though it's for the Black Series, I think you're going to see a lot of photography using it in 3 and 3/4 inch scenarios. So I think it'll sell to both types of collector. Whereas, the Razor Crest um, wouldn't necessarily sell to um, a 6-inch collector exclusively. Uh, what other toy lines do you collect? Marvel, G.I. Joe? Yes, I do. Both of those. I'm very picky and choosy on Marvel. I do tend to stick more towards the MCU type stuff because I'm just not as familiar with some of these more obscure comic book characters. Um, but yeah, the main um, the main uh, crew from the Avengers for sure. A lot of even the TV shows. I didn't pick up any from Falcon and Winter Soldier, even though I want them, or WandaVision. I just didn't pull the trigger on them, but I do collect some Marvel. GI Joe, yes, I do collect all of. Uh, I won't say all. There's a few that I don't have yet, but um, that was mainly because um, they were so hard to get. Being the only one I didn't see in stores was the Baroness with the coil bike. Um, I have it on pre-order from Hasbro Pulse since they put that up. But yeah, GI Joe for sure. What else do I collect? Funko on occasion. I used to be very heavy into it before I started missing every exclusive, especially like Funko store exclusives. It kind of broke me, so I stopped collecting them and uh, only pick and choose now. So let's see. Do you think we'll ever see an Episode 9 Emperor? You would hope. I mean, he's the main villain of the entire Star Wars saga. You would think they could get the final form of him out there, but I don't know. Maybe Hasbro still has the aversion and believes everyone hates the sequel trilogy, which is not true because I actually quite like it. I could see the followers dropping now that I said that. Let's see. Found, um, especially in today's climate, it's better just wait it out. Yep, I agree. Let's see. Do I think we'll see more gaming greats figures? Yes, I do. Let's see. Delta Squad Black Series. It seems like they've overwritten them. I mean, other than having what looked like one of the crew show up in those final episodes of the Bad Batch. I don't know if we'll ever get Delta Squad versions. There's some excellent customs out there, by some talented 3D modelers out there. That might be your best bet. Obviously, they cost quite a bit more than your standard Black Series retail figure, but if you want one, there's ways to get them. Let's see. Sorry if I'm bumping my table quite a bit here. Let's see. Favorite Black Series so far? That's a good one. They've gotten so good, especially these last couple waves. You know, they're really good in some respects, and then there's always room improvement with others. Like there's a lot of figures that I tweak after the fact, even though they're really great. Like Bo-Katan, for example. It's a great figure, sculpt, likeness. There are some details as far as costumes that is not quite right, like the belt and holsters are the wrong color, and her hair is not quite right. So I modified those to make them more show accurate. I know a lot of people maybe don't have the time or the patience or ability to modify a production figure, but um, for a long time, um, I've always had the opinion that the sculpts are always there. It's the paint that often makes or breaks a figure, especially, I mean, the face paints for a lot of these figures. You could see the 3D models of so many of these figures, and they look just spot on likenesses. But as soon as they throw the paint on it, it looks like they did that. It looks like they threw paint on it. And with the advent of the photoreal technology, they've become just infinitely better. Now, if they could just get the glossy faces out of the way, that would go a long way to improving those. But I don't have a real favorite. I mean, there's some great figures coming out next year, which I hope live up to the hype that I have for them. Um, Mandalorian type characters. So we'll just leave it at that. Let's see. Papa Schmitty. I had that Chewy bandolier strap as a kid. Yeah, this he's referring to this right here. That's actually a sealed one. I have. This is my original one from when I was a kid. If I pull the strap out, I'm afraid all of the foam is gonna fall off and whatnot. But yeah, that's my original. I absolutely loved that thing when I was a kid. Let's see what else. Sequel trilogy is like a fine wine when you're familiar with the EU comics. TVC Cad Bane figure, now that he was in the Bad Batch. I think that's highly likely, and maybe for other reasons. We'll leave it at that. Let's see, number one. Oops, I featured that again. 6-inch Macquarie series, starting with the Stormtrooper. Yes, I 100% agree. I want every Macquarie concept figure done in both. Well, most of them have been done in 3 3/4, but in 6-inch, I would absolutely love a Macquarie subset of figures. Oops, let's see. Hey, Yakface, glad to see you live. James Gans from Twitter. Thank you very much. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I still talk to Fly Guy on occasion. With the time differences across the globe and as how busy things are for me, as one can imagine with 4 kids running around and with them being home during COVID, the realm recap kind of just faded off into the sunset, but who knows? This, maybe this live stuff will help reinvigorate me into doing something more like that in the future. I do love to guest on shows. Running one is not all that enjoyable for me most of the time. I'd like when I can, share pictures and not just ramble on and whatnot, but we'll see how things go. Do you think Hasbro would do a wave of TVC figure for HasLab? I'm not into these huge figures and vehicles. Do I think they would? I don't think so. I think I guess it would depend on the subject of the figures. Most of the figures that they would want to produce, I think, could be sold at retail, and I think that was how they originally envisioned the HasLab campaign slash project. Was these were items that couldn't be sold at retail, whether it was due to size or price. And I think having a wave of figures can be easily done at retail or fan channel outlets. I think they need to utilize fan channel outlets more for exclusives, or at least shared exclusive type figures. And I'm not big on the funding of a wave, and then you have to wait, a year to get it. I would rather just have it be a more easily accessible type of product. New ARC Trooper Echo is where? Let's see. Let me see. Any idea on the amount of new TVC figures for next year? I don't know about new. Based on the codes I have for next year, I mean, I think I'm almost at 2 dozen code names. Not all of them I have published, because I don't have certain things in order to make that happen. But I think there's 4 waves for sure. And I don't know if any of those are repacks, as far as reissue type waves. So I'm hoping, based on the enthusiasm, like the different polls that have been put out, showing Hasbro that, we really would like more in quantity, not just quality of TVC figures. So I hope they kind of ramp up their offerings and offer more waves with more variety. Let's see. How many figures do you know of that you haven't told us about? I'd say in the 30s, probably. That's for both. Is that both scales? I'd have to say I'll keep it at 30. A combination of both TVC and vintage collection figures. Chuck Robertson, I feel like Cad Bane is going to appear in Book of Boba. It'd be a good guess. I don't know. We'll see. Big question. Inbox collector opener. Yes, both. Oops. Yes, I do collect in both. I tend to open a lot more than I used to, just because of space issues. I mean, you can't see. The room that I'm in now is slowly but surely being cleaned out, so I can convert it into my oldest daughter's bedroom, which means I will lose all of this real estate. that means I have to get rid of some things. So if you saw some of the other areas of my house, um, it looks like the often used warehouse at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, as far as boxes and crates and more boxes and paths going through them to get to everything. Um, but yeah, I do have a lot of stuff. Um, how do you feel about the Blue Leader X-Wing? I feel disappointed that the figure won't be released separately. For those who collect carded figures, it seems pointless. Um, I I like first of all, I like Rogue One. Um, it's a decent X-Wing. I mean, I don't remember anything really off-putting about it. I do like the fact that the figure is carded, um, just because I think that's part of the experience of the vintage collection is is getting a figure carded. Um, I think that's a decent way of offering it. I wish when they released Poe Dameron's X-wing, whenever that was, I guess that was for Rise of Skywalker, that they would have had BB-8 carded on that one, even though he really wasn't in Poe's X-wing all that much, um, because that would have been the only way to get that figure in the vintage collection carded. But yeah, it doesn't bother me that he's on that card back. Let's see. Bit off from Star Wars. What do you think we'll see six? I think. Do you think we'll see 6-inch Indiana Jones coming when Indy 5 releases? I hope so. That's one of those lines that Hasbro really hasn't touched yet. As far as, I mean, they did it when Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out, um, but I think it would be a good opportunity for them to release a small line of 6-inch figures. I don't think you're going to get anything too deep. Um, Maybe something in line with like how Ghostbusters is for their, what do they call it? The plasma series. I think that's what they call it. I just don't see it being all that deep, even though you could. I mean, obviously you get the main different looks of Indiana Jones throughout the movies, and hopefully Henry Sr. and Marion and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope so. Let's see. Question: on a day you reveal an image of a new figure, could you explain to everyone about how your social media explodes? Um, it's I don't know about explaining it. It's definitely one of those things that um, it's not surprising because I think people are so into Star Wars collecting. Um, just the amount of notifications and comments, and I could see some of the stuff, the analytics of it, and um, at time, considering how many followers there are, like if I'm for Instagram, for example, I think there's 53,000 or 58. I can't remember which, but um, just to see the amount of notifications, I should really turn those off. But then otherwise, I guess I would miss some of the info. But my phone just completely, it's useless for about an hour after I post something. Sometimes, just with all the notifications that pop up. Um, yeah, they'll. I have a couple things that I'm when I get the go ahead, when I find a couple other sources for something, or at least corroborating sources, um, there'll be a couple things that I think will really catch people's attention here, hopefully soon. Yeah, I'm not sure about other sequel trilogy figures. I haven't heard of any more offhand. Um, I was hoping to get more Rogue One vintage collection figures, considering what they did for the Black Series, but I don't know. I don't make those decisions. Hey, mate, good to see you on the tube. Yeah, thank you, Darth Rock. Are we getting another Christmas figure wave this year? The last I heard, which was several months ago, there was another wave of those similar to what they did last year, the different holiday Black Series figures at the different retailers, Walmart and Target and Amazon and what was it, Best Buy and GameStop, I think were all the other retailers. I know they've been shown off, but that was kind of before the delays with everything. I mean, it seems like it would be pretty easy considering they're all repaints and kit bashes um, and exclusives. So the retailers have no problem bringing those in at times. But again, with the delays, I don't know how many, if at all, it's still happening. With all of what you do, are there ever any surprises you get from the live streams? Yeah, exclusive information is kind of tough to come by at times, just because you know that is like another level of secrecy, as far as it cuts out all of the possible um, leaks, as far as only that retailer and Hasbro and Disney, Lucasfilm licensing, whoever you want to talk to, have seen that. So um, there's a couple times where the exclusives have caught me, which is great. I mean, I like being surprised just as much as the next person when it comes to that kind of content. Excuse me. Oh gosh, what is the weirdest Star Wars thing you've ever added to your collection? The weird, not really weird or funny. Um, it's just they're undisplayable. I'll put it that way, just because of the size of them. Um, Many years ago, 20 plus, this was back when uh, the Star Wars trilogy was going to be retired from VHS. Um, there used to be Star Wars billboards on the side of the freeway here in Minneapolis, and I had a friend who worked for the company that hung those banners or those billboards. They're obviously enormous. I think each poster is, I think it's 4x8 sheet, and there's 8 of them on a billboard, depending on the size of the billboard. At least that's what these were. Um, I think there was a Yoda one, a Vader one, and a Stormtrooper one that matched um, the VHS cassette boxes. It was just the helmet and Yoda's head that was on each of those boxes. And I have one of each of those giant billboards, um, each comprising of 8 panels, and the whole bundle probably weighs 50 pounds of paper, because it's like really heavy, kind of weather resistant paper. And having 3 of those, they're in the loft in my garage at the moment. I've had them on display, as far as I laid them out in my grass, like right after I got them. It was 20 years ago, um, I think, and that was the only time I've ever had them out. But I still have them. But I would say that's one of the more weird and unique things that I have. Let's see. see. I heard paying for a shipping crate went from somewhere around 1,000 up to 20,000. Um, I don't think it's I don't think it's that different, but it's not too far off. I think it's whatever it was, it's like 4 to 5 times, I think, the price that it used to cost, at least I think when I looked at it a few weeks ago. But yeah, I mean, you can't expect to pay the same price for merchandise, no matter what it is, when it costs 4 times as much to bring it here. There's gotta be some costs that are passed to consumers, whether it's staples or toys like we're talking about here, unfortunately. Um, see, large scale, do you own Speaking of large scale, do you own a Legacy Falcon from Toys R Us days, or do you ever hope to have one? Um, I have the the big Millennium Falcon. I think that's what you might be referring to. Um, I don't have like one of the in-store displays that was the huge Millennium Falcon that was hung from the ceiling. Um, but I do have some of the um, displays from Toys R Us, which it had like the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, and it had cardboard cutouts of Han and Luke and um Chewie and Obi-Wan, and it lit up. It was like kind of three-dimensional as far as it had uh, a foreground and background to it, and then there were like these large panels that ran along the top of each shelf that looked like, the Death Star or Star Destroyer windows, and you could see space through it, and um, TIE fighters and a battle going on. I have a lot of that from Toys R Us from back in the day. Um, a friend of mine worked there at the time and was able to acquire those for me. What new Star Wars show are you most looking forward to? Book of Boba Fett is pretty intriguing to me. Ahsoka for sure. I love Ahsoka and anything to do with her. A live action version. I never expected to see that, um, and that's a big one for me. Again, Obi Wan. The Obi Wan Kenobi series is another one that's going to be great. Um, it's a short series, but it's it's tough to pick one. I mean, there's just so much potential from all of those three. Um, I'm just glad we're getting more Star Wars content. And let's see. What's up, dude? I appreciate how you do. Do you collect any hot toys? I do have some. Again, I'm kind of picky and choosy on certain things. Um, I do have Ahsoka on order. Also, the 501st version, the Ahsoka clone. Um, I did the old whatever they call it, the split up the payments. So I'm not hit with all those at once. Um, the Anakin, not the animated version, but the one that I didn't get the version that comes with the stab, but it is the Clone Wars type version. Um, who else do I have on order? Captain Rex. Um, as far as ones I have now, I have the Last Jedi Luke, um, from the final, his projected image. I have that one. Um, and who else do I have? I've got a lot of the original sideshow figures, like from when they first came out. Um, the Darth Maul, the Qui Gon, uh, Obi Wan, Luke, and Leia. But just about a handful of the hot toys. Out of the basement. Hello, welcome. I watch you guys regularly, as you might know. I leave comments on occasion. Let's see. So, guys, Let's see how the base. No word on Crate Luke yet. I kind of talked about it at the beginning of the show, um, or the stream anyway. Um, it's possible. I know there was one made at some point. I don't know about like a full production run, but I know there was obviously there was one solicited. I mean, you could pull it up on Walmart.com right now if you have the proper info. Um, it shows up on the app and it shows up on the website. It's just a dead product right now. So hopefully, just like how Jar Jar was the same way, it eventually made its way to retail. So I have high hopes that he will eventually make it. Oops. Oh, never mind. Let's see. 220. If 2022 is going to be a HasLab project for Vintage, what would you like to see? Since it's the anniversary of Attack of the Clones, I'd like a new larger Republic gunship. That would be great. I mean, it's tough to pick any one thing that I would um, like I said, because since I didn't buy the Razor Crest, but I hope to get it. I don't know. It's tough to pick any one thing. Um, would a cantina be great? Yeah, it would be. Um, or some sort of full on Death Star type playset. Obviously, it's not going to be scale accurate, but get us a few levels or something similar. Um, there's a lot of potential out there. I would like. I mean, I've said it on multiple shows that I've been on and been invited on over the years. I really would like a Ghost from Star Wars Rebels, even though there's no vintage figures yet. Um, I think that figure or that vehicle deserves to have a 3 3/4 inch uh, version at some point. With it being in Rogue One and obviously uh, in Rebels, and it's it's just one of those things that I think it needs to happen, and Rise of Skywalker also. Let's see. Hmm. Chance we get a Jabba and Throne release. I don't know about Jabba. I Hey, if I wouldn't mind getting a Throne as a stretch goal for the for the Rancor. I think that would be a good option. I mean, put it as the last tier, the fourth stretch goal. Usual mic. Ghost would be sick. Thank you, Tony. Any more Ewoks in the pipeline? Let me think. Oops, not that one. The comment moved. Any more Ewoks? Oops. Not that I could think of right now. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer. I mean, there's a lot of them they can do. I just kind of hope they do a better job. Like, I think the previous version of Poplu was a better rendition of the figure than the one they just issued for the vintage collection. As far as Black Series go, I think they need to get that Poplu out of that exclusive pack and issue that in the main line. I think we'll get Wicket for the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, and we'll get that a couple different ways. Seems like that would be one they could easily put on a card for the vintage look. But yeah, those those for sure seem to be pretty in the bag, I would say. How many stormtroopers do I have? Of all the various, I there's got to be, I don't know, of the different forms going all the way back to 78, probably, let's say 100 of just a plain stormtrooper, not all the different variants and colors out there. Probably 100. And then but the vintage one is probably the one I have the least amount of. The vintage original Kenner one. Usual mic. Let's see. I don't know if I missed any. We've been going for about an hour and a half, so thanks for everyone for hanging out and submitting questions. I'll answer a few more here before I sign off for the night. We'll do this again. Sometimes I will have the time to be able to do it, so might do it right after the show, the Hasbro show on Wednesday. Might pop online on Thursday or Friday night, go over it. Or if people don't have that time available, I mean, a lot of people go out on Fridays. I don't. Maybe a Saturday afternoon type thing. Let's see. What else? Do you think we'll get more, let's see, Republic figures? Yes, I do. I don't know who yet, but I do think, well, like there's that HK-47 that's coming to the Black Series. They're just starting to dabble in that now. I mean, we saw Revan, obviously. We've gotten him a couple times, so I think there's a pretty good chance that we'll be getting more from that bit of media. So live stream. Thanks, Jason. Let's see. Thanks for the hard work you do. This hobby would be a lot more stressful without all your info and insight. No problem. Again, I'm glad to help, and that's not just with information too. I mean, as people may have commented or have seen on social media, I try to help out collectors when I can. If I find an extra of something, or if I know that they're looking in particular, I'll offer to pick up something for someone, and I charge them retail and ship it out. It's not a big deal. So yeah, I'm more than happy to help anyone out as I can. Thanks, Jamie. You can go back and watch it if it pops up on my my YouTube channel. It should be there once the broadcast ends. Hopefully, I answered everyone's questions. Let's see, before we go, thanks all the time. Bring the latest and greatest Star Wars collection. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome, Darth Rock. Classic Cantina aliens on the horizon. Let me think. I'd have to look at my list, but I don't want to. Here, let me try this. Let me go over here. Let's see. I don't think I have it on this list. I know there's other than Evazan and Ponda Baba, there's one more, and I can't say who that is right yet. I don't know when, but I'm pretty sure it should be soon, as far as announced. How did you choose the Yakface for your name? I didn't. The website was started back in 95, 96-ish, back in the early internet days. Um, I came on board as just a contributor, writing articles and doing toy reviews and photography, right around Revenge of the Sith. So what? That's 2005. About 5 years later, I let's see, what year is this? This is still 2021. Um, I've owned the site outright for I think 12 years now. Kind of took it over after it was kind of gifted to me. So, um, so yeah, I mean, I didn't choose it, but I I try to carry on as best I can. I mean, back in the day, I mean, we were we did Q&As with Hasbro, and we did product reveals and first looks and all that stuff. And as things change, we no longer no longer do that. And that was, I mean, I've told this story, but that was kind of our choice to kind of depart from the group, as far as being able to share official information. But yeah, Yakface has been around, just like Rebel Scum has been around about as long, probably a little bit longer, and Galactic Hunter and sites like that. Um, it seems like I've been doing this forever though. Make sure you give the video a like. Yes. Let's see. Didn't Hasbro have a 3.75 Mamani Don digitally sculpted for a while now? Um, I'm pretty sure. I know. I mean, I don't think they digitally sculpted the 3 3/4 inch when we got for the Saga line, but um, I'm I know that um, there's versions of some of these figures out there, especially some of the Cantina aliens that have been done. Um, so I'm not sure what they're waiting for. I mean, there's been plenty of opportunity to issue some of those Cantina aliens in both scales now that we have 6 inch. Um, let's see. I think I'll go right until uh, for another what until 12 o'clock my time, which is about uh, 18 minutes. So if anyone else has any questions, feel free to dump them in there, and I'll see if I can answer them. Um, let's see what else. Scroll back through some of these. Um, can Hasbro continue the retro line beyond just specialty waves like they have been? Like continue the original 95? Um, I'm not sure if you're referring to the retro 5POA line or the vintage collection, but um, to continue the original 95, 96, I don't suspect we'll ever get you know, 5POA versions of all of the figures from the original run. I think that just seems unattainable as far as them going back and doing all of they'll stick with the popular ones, um, the main characters and whatnot, and then explore the new media. I mean, I'm surprised we haven't gotten prequel retro line figures yet, but I imagine it's coming at some point. New comments. Let's see. Thanks, Jason. Do you think we'll get more comic book or comic figures, in particular Black Boba Fett? Seems like a pretty easy repaint, right? I haven't seen anything since that's pretty new. Um, but I don't imagine it's out of the realm of possibility. I know there are, like I said before, there are more comic um, era type figures. Um, I think I hinted on that a couple weeks ago. Um, the Infinity comic in particular has a figure for sure. Um, so there's that. There's plenty of to choose from a lot of the dark horse in Marvel comics. There's a couple good surprises in there for sure. Um, have you heard anything about Attack of the Clones anniversary releases for Black Series? I know that there are Black Series figures for Episode 2. I don't know if they're going to be um, carded like the anniversary figures they've been doing. Like for Episode 1, I imagine it's possible. Um, the figures that I heard about were not part of that. Um, they were part of the standard Black Series boxes. So, um, and a figure like Zam Wessel, that'd be cool. I haven't heard of her being released yet, but it's possible. What else? Kid Anakin. I'd like a Kid Anakin too. I spoke about that the other night when I was on with Victoria about having a Kid Anakin, young Anakin Black Series figure. Matthew says he really hope to get some of the High Republic figures eventually. That's one bit of media I have not explored yet. As far as, I mean, I've bought a couple of the novels. I haven't read them. I have them on audio as well. I haven't listened to them. It seems like there's potential there for a lot of figures. Um, I just, I'm just not sure how popular it is. Um, and that's on me. That's my own ignorance of the following of that particular bit of media. Um, like I said, some of the illustrations shown for the jackets for those books and some of the comics, it's definitely ripe for action figures. But I don't know if I haven't heard of anything for High Republic yet. You would think they would have had some at launch if they were going to support it, at least in action figure form, right away. Shadows of the Empire figure in the future. Let's see. I'm looking off in the distance, trying to remember. I'm not looking at anything. Not that I can recall. Yeah, those comic ones that are coming. I'd have to look at my list. I'm not looking at it right now, but I don't think any of them were. Excuse me, Shadows of the Empire. Do I still skate? I skate once a year, and I skate on my birthday, which is coming up soon, a couple weeks. So, and that's skateboard, not roller skate or inline skate. Um, I always go skating on my birthday because I used to be a huge skateboarder back before I got old. Let's see. What happened to the orange card TVC FET? It never existed. It existed in mock-up form, I would imagine, and maybe solicitation imagery, but I've seen absolutely zero proof that that figure in that on that card back was ever made. So I think I posted this earlier. It's a unicorn. It's not out there. Maybe there's sale samples out there somewhere. I don't know. I've never actually seen a physical version. This is a good question that comes up on occasion. With Hasbro wanting to reduce plastics in their packaging, how could that affect throwback packaging like they recently did with the Target exclusive Clone Wars wave? Um, that would put a damper on any kind of tribute packaging. I guess it would depend on what um, I don't know what they're willing to say is new packaging. Obviously, obviously the vintage collection packaging isn't new packaging, so that is something that could kind of fall outside of that realm. I just don't know how they're going to get around selling action figures without windows to see what they are. I mean, I know they do it on occasion. Um, I just don't foresee how that works. At least not yet. Take care, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for your questions. Like a rock figure. Yes, the rock figure, not Dwayne the Rock Johnson, the rock figure from High Republic. I do know a little bit about it, and that's the only thing I really know. I don't know any of the characters other than the rock. This kind of came up earlier. I think they produce Macquarie concept art figures for the Black Series line. Um, I hope so. I mean, those Funko Pop ones are absolutely great. I mean, I'm a huge Macquarie fan, um, not only of the figures but of the artist himself. Um, the Getting figures in the Black Series would just be icing on the cake, I think, as far as having a toy representation of some of those Macquarie designs. So I hope so. That would have been great to have been a part of the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm, considering his work was the basis for most of everything. Let's see, what else? Got about 8 minutes left. Oops, lost my screen. Haven't heard any word on Droidica or B2 coming to Black Series. No droid, no. I'm not gonna say no droids. I haven't heard of either of those two droids coming. Um, Again, they seem like no brainers, especially the super battle droid. I don't know why they haven't yet. Maybe I don't know. I hope so. I should find a list here. See what I might be able to hint at. Let's see. Someone asked about vintage collection 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's 13 plus another 5. So I know of 18 vintage collection figures that I have 13 code names for, 5 I don't. Oops, let's see, let's hide that. I see Jason's been a while. Mr. Run Realm. Thank you, Ray. On the recent Walmart exclusive TVC card shows the droid animation on the timeline. Does this mean we'll get some animated droids figures? I don't think so, because Rebels is on the back of there too, and we haven't gotten any Rebels TVC figures. So unless it means that we're getting them in both, then I wouldn't put too much stock in getting animated droids. or Ewoks for that matter. Jamie, wink, wink, hint, hint. Thanks for doing this, bro. Do it more often. Yes, I will try. I will try my best. Let's see. Look back here. So what I said 13 vintage. I'll go back to Black Series. Well, 13. It might be closer to 20 actually for vintage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 18, 19, 20. Uh-oh. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 35. Okay, so there's 35 Black Series figures that I know of, and probably 28 of them I have code names for. So that's my latest count, I think. I'd have to. Oh no, it's actually you could. Well, it's hard to. I'll keep my count the way it is because some of those figures that I'm thinking of right now are probably correspond to some of the code names I have. So yeah, 30-ish, 35. So yeah, probably pushing 40, and that's not counting exclusives because I don't know those. So it could be if it's anything like this year was, that there's another 10 to 12 for next year. So it's a lot. And there's obviously more vintage collection stuff too as far as exclusives and whatever. So you could add another 10 to, I mean, if it's like this year, there's 3 waves, or there was the Walmart exclusives, so there was 9 figures there. So yeah, how many is that in Canadian? You guys will get them all first anyway, so you'll just have to pay twice the price. Let's see. Hello there. So I know the next few. I know the next archive wave of not of new figures, but of figures that haven't been shown off yet. And there's some other figures. Like towards the end of the year, I mean, even going back to around May, June of this year, the wave case assortments got kind of shuffled around a little bit. So figures that were assigned certain numbers and code names moved around a little bit, especially figures like Mayfeld, Nomad Boba Fett, the upcoming, not yet announced, Luke and Leia flashback training from Rise of Skywalker. Those figures all kind of switched code names and Hasbro SKUs. So it's kind of hard to say where waves fall now and who's in what wave. I don't have that information quite yet because it changes. So the long answer is no. I don't know the exact breakdown of the next waves yet. Let's see. Will I be at Celebration Anaheim? That is my hope. I'm hoping to go in some capacity. The last celebration I went to God, what was that? Was that I don't even remember. I don't know. The last convention I went to, um, we did the barge giveaway at that one with Dorkside. That was pretty fun. Um, but yeah, I hope to make it to Anaheim. I've been to the Florida one a couple times. It'd be nice to get back out west. Um, let's see. I think with that, that will wrap up this impromptu slash planned scheduled live stream. So again, thanks everyone for showing up tonight, and thanks for all your questions and the kind words and everything. I will definitely do it again. Not sure when exactly for sure, but I'll post some sort of social media announcement. But again, thanks everyone for showing up, and you could probably catch this on the YouTube channel. You could get the link right from Yakface.com. You can always follow me, obviously, on Instagram, Twitter, our Facebook page. Um, I'm on a couple Discord servers. So yeah, I'm always out there. Plus, I'm guesting on various podcasts that are out there. So um, again, appreciate everyone showing up tonight, and we'll call it a night. Thanks, everyone.